get started.
I know it's hard to believe, but it's already time to put 2022 in the rear view and start thinking about 2023. So here at MHP Team SI, we have gathered a few of our marketing experts to come and talk about their 2023 predictions. Today, we've gotten someone from behind the camera to come in front of the camera. It's Blake Stanage, our Director of Video Production, to talk about the future of video. How are you doing today, Blake?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good. Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So before we jump into 2023, let's take a minute and look back at the last year. What kind of trends have stood out to you in the world of video in 2022?
Yeah, so one thing that's stood out to me is short form videos just becoming more and more popular, really because of TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. So those are all becoming more and more popular. And, with that also comes things like captions becoming more and more popular. Like people like to read instead of turning on the audio on their phones. So captions are becoming more and more important for us to create in our videos. Luckily, tools are getting better at doing that and making that process a little bit easier, a little bit faster. And also with captions, that kind of helps the viewer retain more of that information too. So that works out pretty well.
Awesome. So how short are we talking about in short form? Are we talking like 3 minutes, a minute, all the way down to 15 seconds or?
Yeah. So generally with like commercial production, they're going to be 30 seconds, 15 seconds. You might have like a 60-second occasionally. Once it gets past that, I kind of consider that to be a little bit longer format. But then as we've gotten shorter and shorter content, it's getting down to past 15 to like 5 seconds, 6 seconds.
Wow.
And so that's becoming more and more popular.
So what kind of challenges does that throw at you as a video producer to tell a story even in 5 or 6 seconds?
Yeah, so it provides different challenges. With a story, you still got your main 3 things: the beginning, middle, and end. Like kind of the intro, body of the piece, and then the closing. And so you still, to tell a good story, you kind of need those elements. So figuring out creative ways to achieve that, even if it's short content, is kind of the goal with any video, really.
Right. And then something else you mentioned that we've really emphasized here at MHP Team SI is vertical video. And I think it's cool to point out that we've managed to shoot both vertical and horizontal at the same time.
Yeah. So, and that's, if you can figure out a way to leverage vertical video into the more traditional video you're already shooting, then you can be more productive, you can save time and save money. And so what we've tried to do recently, along with our content studio, is implement vertical video into what we're already shooting. So, or like for our setup today, like we'll probably be cutting this up into shorter segments and also a vertical format. And, some tips to do that is, shoot at a high resolution. 4K will let you still maintain a high resolution whenever you're switching that framing to a vertical format.
Right.
So, and then just be thinking about that when you're framing up the shot.
Yeah, cool. That's a good tip. So looking ahead into the future, what kind of trends stand out to you think are going to become an important part of video production into 2023 and beyond?
Sure. So there's a few different things that I think that could become a big deal in video production. Like everything else, AI is starting to make its way into video. So that's through deepfakes, and that's been around for a few years now, but I think it's going to be more and more popular. It's going to be more and more prevalent in the video space, and eventually, marketing is going to have to decide are we going to use this, how we're going to use it, and what do the ethics of that look like.
Right.
And then also, even a little more recently, is AI generated art. And so I think that's going to show itself in the video space as well.
Have we gotten to the point that we can make AI-generated video? I know we can make AI-generated still art, but can we make it animated as well?
I've seen some different people like experiment with it, but I think it's not quite there yet. It's definitely not on a widespread, widely adopted yet, but I'm sure it's on its way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool to see. And as well as deepfakes, I mean, it raises all kinds of ethical questions, or you could have even people. I could see it being a place where you have famous actors contract their deepfakes, and for a lower price, and you can have high quality talent in your videos for a lower price. So
yeah, that's a really good point.
Maybe I don't know. So are there any other trends you see coming up in the next year?
So one other one that I'm really excited about is virtual production. Again, it's been around for a while, but I'm curious to see how marketing agencies and commercial productions start adopting virtual production into their workflow. And so what virtual production is basically it allows you to put your subject into a virtual environment in real time. So that's done either with a giant LED wall. So like behind me would be an LED wall that was projecting a virtual environment that we could manipulate and change. Like, we want a mountain here. Nope, now we want a rock over here or whatever. And we could change that on the spot in real time so that we could actually get a live view of what the end product's going to look like. So you can do that through LED walls. People have done it through projection, like a projector. And you can also do it with a green screen as well.
So are we getting to the point where this virtual production looks more realistic than the classic green screen?
So virtual production, in my opinion, definitely looks better than what you can do on just a straight green screen. Some of really popular shows and movies have started adopting this. And so the benefit of it is, one, the director of photography can actually see what the end product is going to look like through the camera lens. And then the other benefit of it is, like I said, the convenience of being able to manipulate the environment in real time. And then I think probably the third benefit is the lighting of your scene. You can get a live view of the background, so you can light your subject, your foreground, accordingly. And that just provides a better result, a more realistic looking result by the end of your video, by the time you're done with your product.
Awesome. So is that becoming more accessible as well to maybe medium-sized to smaller businesses?
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of curious to see what happens going forward with, agencies and smaller agencies and smaller businesses. I think that it'll be different variations. Like, we're not going to have a giant volume of LED walls and for smaller businesses, right. But I think rear projection and green screens, utilizing a green screen for virtual production, could become a possibility for smaller organizations.
Gotcha. Cool. Another thing that's been on a lot of people's minds, and maybe this is not 2023, but a few years off, is the metaverse. And how are video technicians preparing for that?
So, like you said, the metaverse it's kind of yet to be seen how successful it's going to be in the next few years, or if it's going to be off in the distance a little bit more, and exactly what all it's going to mean for marketers, for videographers. But I kind of think that it's going to provide more opportunities for videographers when it comes to 360 video. We already have 360 video, but it's going to be a good opportunity to implement that in a virtual world. So when you have a headset, that content is much more engaging than just viewing a 360 video on your phone. So I think that'll provide us some unique opportunities for sure. And then for motion graphics, we could create 3D worlds in VR for people to explore as well. And then lastly, I think that we'll have more opportunities using AR to I could record this space that we're in right now and, view that from the metaverse. So I think there's a lot of potential, and nothing's really defined yet.
Right.
So I'm curious to see how it goes.
Right. Yeah. I feel like the metaverse is something that's pretty far off. So it's a lot of speculation at the moment in terms of what's actually going to happen there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
All right, Blake, any last thoughts?
Yeah. So for video, there's lots of opportunities for businesses, for creators, and even more and more as technology advances, virtual production, virtual reality, augmented reality, all these things are going to provide more and more opportunities for marketers and for content creators. So I'm excited to see where that technology takes video and how we can, implement it and benefit from it. But ultimately, video is all about a story, and that's really the most important part. Is, like I said before, your beginning, middle, and end makes up a story. And so you want to make sure that no matter what platform you're on, no matter what kind of technology you're using, you want to go back to the story and make sure that that's your focus. So
awesome. Well, Blake, I know a few of our other experts have spoken about how video is going to play a really important role in the future as we become more and more visual people. And so I think your team's going to be a big part of that and a big part of the success of our agency and marketing in the future in 2023 and beyond. So thanks for joining us, and thank you all for joining us. If you want to check out more of Blake and his team's work, look through our YouTube channel. We got a lot of videos on there that they've produced. So thanks for joining us, and have a great day.
Here we go.